Welcome to a new lecture. In this lecture, let us talk about literals and identifiers. So these two are basic common terms and they are really important. So whenever you are doing some project or whenever you are doing or creating some application, you might get stuck with errors. And if you go on Stack Overflow or any other website that are going to provide you solution, you will get stuck with these terms called literals and identifiers. Let us talk about them. So here I take an example, and if I take a as 15 here, if I want to talk about what is 15, what is a, then you might guess that a is variable name and 15 is the value of that particular variable. So we are giving that particular value to a. So in Python as programming term, this 15 is a constant value that we are providing to a. So this 15 is known as literals. And here a is known as identifier. I know it's a variable, but we call it as identifier. Why? Because with the help of this particular term, we can identify a particular value, that is the value of a. So if someone asks you what is a, you can call it as variable, you can call it as identifier. And if someone asks you what is 15, you can call it as value for that particular variable, or you can call it as literal. Now there are three types of literal. One is numeric, second one is Boolean, and third one is string. Let us take an example. So if I talk about numeric literals, we have integers, float, hexadecimal, octal, binary, and complex. And if I talk about Booleans, you know there is true and there is false. And if I talk about string, we know what is string. So let us do a small example with literals so you get comfortable. So here if I do a equals to 15, which means identifier a is equals to 15, which is literal. So that is a numeric literal. And if I do as b equals to 5.3, that is a float literal. And if I print the value of b, you can see I got 5.3. And what if I provide a binary value to any variable? Let us do that also. So here you can see I have provided 53 as the value in binary terms to C, and if I try to print C, I get the value in numeric, that is decimal term. And if I also try for hexadecimal and octal, you will get some same result. Let us perform the hexadecimal one. So here if I take D and if I provide the value in hexadecimal and if I print this particular value of D, you can see I get a value of 23068. And that is the actual value. And if I also try this with complex or octal, you will get the result. Same we will take for Boolean, since we are going to take true or false, and that has to be same with string also. Now I hope you understand what is literal and identifiers. And if I take a simple thing, maybe let me take a variable name as sal and make it as 50,000. If here I ask you what is literal, what is identifier, and what is equal to doing here. So here in this example, the variable name is sal, that is our salary, and hence this name sal is identifier. If I talk about this particular symbol, that is the equal to symbol, the symbol stores our literal value into variable. That is, the symbol help you to store 50,000 inside salary. So if you call salary, that is sal, at any point of time, you will get the result as 50,000. So this is known as operator because it is performing an operation of assigning a value to a variable. The third thing I want to talk about is 50,000. So here 50,000 is this value that is stored in variable, and hence it is known as literal. So instead of 50,000, if I have taken something in points, that would be a floating point literal. Here I have taken integer, so it will be integer literal. That is the part of numeric literal. Now I hope you understand what is identifier, what is literal, and what is equals to doing here. In the next lecture, let us talk about reserved words. So there are some words that you cannot use for your variables, for your class name, or maybe at any point of time you cannot use them because they are predefined words with Python.